Hello and welcome back to this Broentech learning video series. So today we will continue talking about the microcontroller board, and in particular we will see how to get started in order to program it. So we'll talk about two things. The first one is the IDEs that you can use it for programming it, and then we'll see the physical connections and the external hardware that you need it. So for doing that, we'll start by the IDEs. If you are a Windows user, then you have a lot of solutions of pre-packed IDEs which you can use. Some of them are free, some of them require license. So what we advise is the free, of course, and since this is an open source project. And so in particular it's called CoIDE. It's from Cocox, and it is actually a very nice environment where you have everything that you need. You have it's everything. You have a debugger and you have a complete toolchain there where you can develop your code and just flash it. If you want something more professional, then if you're looking something for more professional, then then there are a lot of other solutions out there. For example, Kale, or well, there are a bunch more where actually you can just Google it and search it for it. So if you are a Linux user, then I cannot recall any IDEs which is already prepacked and ready to use. But there are solutions, for example, using you can use it, for example, Eclipse and GCC and as a, and OpenOCD, so as a toolchain. So you can just configure these trees and having a completely working environment. And you can search more on internet on actually how to configure these three together. There are many guides around. Well, said that, let's move to the hardware. We will actually see later in a later video how to basically develop your code on CoIDE. So for the hardware, the cheapest things that you can buy is a discovery board for programming your board, and this is pretty cheap. You can find it for I don't know, $10, something like that. And so you will get something like this, and this has already an STM32 board, actually a chip in it, which you can basically program it. But it has also an ST-Link inside this, which you can use it for programming your external circuit. The only things that you have to remember when you are programming your chip is to remove these two. There are there are basically two connectors here, the two external connectors, 1 and 2 here. And these connectors here, they will basically set if you want to program this part of the board, basically the onboard chip, or an external chip. In our case, since we want to use this one for programming the Vri board, then we need to remove these jumpers, and yeah, that's it. We are ready to go. What we need to basically then we'll need to wire this connector here. It's called the CN2, the SWD, single wire debugger, to our board, to our Vri board. And for doing that, we have to wire it in our main connectors, which is this one here. So this was the main connectors. If you want to know more about this one, please go and check the schematic video where we explain what is in this connector. So, and we place it in the same order. So we can just connect the first one with the first one, and then the second one with the second one, and so on. You can double check it by pin number 3, which is supposed to be the GND. So you can easily see that actually in our board, in the Vri board, it's connected to the ground. Yeah, and you can use this one for checking that all the other one are in the correct order as a reference. So, but yeah, basically you will see, and this is the single wire debugger. It's like JTAG, but you have only 4 wires. So GND and VCC plus another basically data and clock. So, and this is the final wiring you will see from this connector here, from the discovery board up to our Vri board. And yeah, and they are in the same order, yeah, as you can see. So, and basically you are ready to go now. You can just attach, connect it through USB, and flash your code from your IDE. I want to mention two things. First, you remember you must install also the ST driver and the ST link for flash before you are able to flash it. And the second thing that I want to mention is that in case that you have the new discovery board, this is actually this is an old version. Now the ST has made a new version called Nucleo board, but it's the same. So it's exactly the same. You will different layout, but you still have the two section, and it works exactly the same. So it has the external connector for flashing your circuit. So it doesn't change anything. Well, said that, we'll see in the next video or actually how to program it with Coide and flash the code, for example, some easy code like blinking lights or something like that. Thank you for watching.